Hey everybody, it's Pastor Caleb. Hope you're doing well today. Got a fantastic Bible review / comparison for you on two R.L. Allan NASB Reader editions. So make sure you stick around, hit subscribe, and hit that bell notification for more updates on the channel. I hope you enjoy. Recently, I did a Bible review on an R.L. Allan NASB Reader in Petrol Blue, and it was a 32 GSM edition. It was the first edition that they did in that color. Since then, I've been able to pick up another 32 GSM R.L. Allan NASB Reader in black goatskin. And what I want to do is I want to show you this one real quick, and then I want to do a quick comparison with the ones that are actually on R.L. Allan's website right now, Bibles Direct. This is a 36 GSM edition, and fantastic Bible. Just want to give just a quick comparison for the two. I know a lot of people love the NASB Reader from R.L. Allan, so just a quick comparison on these two. So both these editions are in a natural grain goatskin. These are not Highland goatskin that you might see that Charfleet or Chant did a few years back, but these are done by Royal Youngblood. These are top-notch Bibles. Royal Youngblood does a fantastic job on every edition that I've had, whether it's R.L. Allan, a Schuyler, or Cambridge. Royal Youngblood does a fantastic job, and you can see from the editions that they've gotten better as the time goes on. I hope this will help you if you are deciding or debating on what edition to get, whether you want to go for an older edition that has a 32 GSM paper, or if you want to go with a newer edition that has a 36 GSM paper. I'll show you some subtle differences in the two editions, so let's get to it. So let's look at some of the subtle differences that are on the outside. So you can see that the stamping on each one is just a little different. It's definitely bigger on this 36 GSM paper. To know if you have a 32 GSM, you can look at New American Standard on it, and it's not all capitalized. On these newer editions, New American Standard Bible is all capitalized. So on this older edition, you can see that it has New American Standard Bible, but it's not in all caps. And you can see that the footprint is just a little slimmer on this 32 GSM edition. So here's where you're going to see a pretty vast difference in the craftsmanship on these older editions, and I'll zoom in on it here in a minute and you can see it, but these corners are just kind of hammered. There's really no detail to the pleats or anything like that. On these newer editions, you can see both are obviously by Royal Youngblood. You can see that they've really improved on these corner work. They've really improved on this corner work. It's pleated. They've done a really good job. Both Bibles just say goatskin. Here on the inside cover, it's definitely, you can tell the difference in the Highland goatskin to this natural grain goatskin. Both Bibles have the gilt line, and both are edge lined. And this is another difference. On these older editions, this is like your normal type of end sheet. It's very glossy. There's really not much texture to it. But on these newer editions, you have this like cardstock, this textured cardstock paper that you would see on most of all your newer Allan editions. So on the older one, it's kind of like it's kind of more generic. There's really no bells and whistles to it. I don't mind it. It looks very classic. This one has the navy liner and end sheet here. Now, one thing that I love about Allan Bibles are the presentation pages. Now, this 32 GSM edition I have already had some writing on the main presentation page, so I'm not going to show you that, but this 36 GSM that I have is perfectly clear. They're the exact same layout, markings, fonts, and everything. But what I love about these is that they are on a nice cardstock. So when you do write in it, it's not going to smear. It's going to look very, very nice. Both these Bibles are Smith sewn, and they both have white head and tail bands. Now in this shot here, I mean, you can definitely see just the little bit of discrepancy. I'm just running my hand straight across, and it is bumping. You can tell that it's a little thicker with the 36 GSM. I will say this black edition, this black goat skin here, it is really supple. It almost feels like a Highland goat skin, but it's not. They did make some editions that were Highland goat skin. There's a few floating around out there, but it feels definitely softer than this newer edition, and it even feels softer than the petrol blue edition that I have. I might have to get that one out and show you the difference in the two editions. So typical with most Allan Bibles, I mean, they do have some Silverline editions now, but your typical red under gold, it's just absolutely beautiful. I love Allan Bibles. They do such a great job for a handcrafted Bible. I mean, just absolutely beautiful. I mean, even this newer edition, obviously that one's been used a little bit, but this newer one, you can just see that deep red. Just an absolutely beautiful Bible. So just want to show you they are the exact same. So Isaiah chapter 12 in the 32 starts on page 704. Isaiah chapter 12 in the 36 GSM starts on page 704. So the exact same text block, just some slightly different things that they've added and done different in these 36 editions. So when you get to Revelation 22 in both editions, you get to your concordance. Very nice concordance in both three columns. The main word is in bold. Now I will say the font is a little tiny for the underwords that are not in bold, but it's very legible. I will give them that. They did a good job. So you get 66 pages worth of concordance material. So that's pretty good concordance, I will say. The ghosting is not bad in it. I will say it's not bad, considering both of these editions are not line matched, which I really wish if Allan would line match, man, it would just be like game changer, game over, just because their paper is just so awesome. But they're not line matched. But the ghosting on really either one of these, it's just not that bad. I don't mind it at all when I'm reading or studying in it. This is the 32 GSM. We'll look at that a little. When you get to the end of the concordance, you come to your Bible maps. Now you can tell with this 36 GSM, I haven't used it a whole lot, so it's not really broken in or wanting to lay extremely flat. This 32 GSM is obviously used. The block was clean when I got it. They just filled out the presentation page. But it's wanting to lay flat. You can see just how they've updated the map a little bit as far as the color schemes go. Not a whole, I mean, basically the exact same map. It's just the colors are a little more crisp. In both editions, you have 8 Bible maps. Now, if you've watched any of my videos previously, I usually dog the snot out of maps because I don't like maps. I never use the maps at all. But one thing about R.L. Allan, and I absolutely love it, they put their Bible maps on Bible paper. It is not your glossy cardstock. They turn just as well as the actual text paper. I mean, R.L. Allan, I believe, has the best maps of any premium Bible, of any regular Bible that you could get. Great job, even though I will never use the maps in either edition. No, the thing that I think that sets Allan apart from all other Bible publishers is the notebook paper in the back. The notebook paper in the back of both these editions is just awesome. Now, in this 32 GSM, what I love about it is that it's double column. I personally like that. In the newer edition, it's just one big sheet of notebook paper. I mean, I'm glad they still have it in there. They do it really well. The paper in here is absolutely fantastic. The paper, I mean, you can take notes in it. It's not gonna ghost. It's not gonna bleed. You can make sermon notes back here. You can put prayer requests back here. You can just, you can make it as a prayer Bible to write out prayers. I did that in a ESV reader that I've got. I made it into a prayer Bible and literally covered all the pages in just prayers. There's so much that you can do with the notebook paper. I love this about R.L. Allan. Now, I know Skylar has done notebook paper in some editions. It's good. I'm glad that it's there, but it's not this Allan notebook paper. This is what keeps drawing me back to wanting to use an R.L. Allan Bible. I love the notebook paper. I like having the access to being able to write notes in the back, to have sermon notes in the back, to have key points or quotes or anything anything that you want, you can write on this notebook paper. Especially if you don't like writing in your Bible, you can put your notes back here and then just kind of put a mark. I think there's some guys out there that will number their pages and then put a number beside the text in the Bible, and that way it's just like little marks in the actual text block, and then they come back here and read their notes. So those are some differences. And then when you get to the end of the notebook paper, you can see this one. It says Allan binding by Royal Youngblood. You can see that edge line, that corner work, again, the interior gilt line. I mean, this is a solid edition. I love the brown Bibles. I love it. Just an absolutely beautiful Bible. I mean, Allan, another thing, they knock it out of the park with these ribbons, that double-sided satin barrestered ribbons, cut it at an angle. I mean, it just doesn't get much better than that. Now, I like these kind of gold-ish honey ribbons in the brown Bibles, but I really loved it when they were doing the multicolored ribbons. I love that forest green, that plum, and the brown color. Those are just absolutely beautiful. Now, in this 32 GSM edition, and you get 32 pages of the lined notebook paper. Again, you have that kind of glossy end sheet here. And on this edition, all it says is Allan binding. But the grain work on this Bible, on this black one, I mean, you can see it. It is just absolutely beautiful. Again, 3 navy blue ribbons, double-sided satin, cut at an angle. Just an absolute beautiful Bible. Fits good in your hand. You can hold. I think this 32 GSM edition, it feels better in your hand. And this is all personal preference. I can get by with the 36 if I wanted to hold it in my hand and preach from it, but it is a little heavier than the 32 GSM. So I personally love these 32 GSM editions. I mean, just fantastic. I'll get that petrol out so you can just see the difference in the grains. So I hope this has helped you. Maybe if you're on the fence with an R.L. Allan NASB reader, if you want the 32 or the 36 GSM edition. Now I know that the 32 are a little harder to come by, but you can usually find them on the Facebook groups, Allan Bible Addicts, the Super Fan page. Even in this older edition, I mean, it's still, I love the smell of leather, and it just still smells so amazing. I love it. This 32 GSM edition here, this black one, I think it's definitely in the rotation of being used every day. I like the size of it. It's not heavy. You know, if you're going to preach from it and hold it in your hand, it's very easy to do that. It's not too floppy. I like floppy, but it's not too floppy. So I mean, it will do the trick, and it's soft. I love goat skin. It's just a really good addition. I can read it. You know, it is just really good. It's got the center column references. So both of these are just great additions. So I mean, man, even the newer one still smells so good. It's 36 GSM, man. It's a good Bible. But I love both of these editions. Even the petrol, I love it. That was kind of my unicorn, was that petrol blue with the red undergold 32 GSM edition. But I mean, just seeing the difference in the spine, you can kind of see just the thickness of the newer edition here. But anyways, I hope that this has helped you. I hope that if you've been in the market for an R.L. Allan NASB edition, that this has helped you. And like always, hit subscribe, hit that bell notification for updates on the channel. I hope you have a good day. God bless you, and remember, God is our salvation.